Hello there, day 39. So, let's see, what can I start with? You want to know how the fentanyl patch went last night? I don't know if I feel anything from it. It's a low dose. And I was in the most pain I've ever been in last night. And I don't think it had anything to do with chemo. It had to do with the drugs, and this is TMI, so sorry, but you want to know all these goods, right? I was told about 3 days ago that I need to start drinking like Miralax or some kind of a laxative because the amount of drugs, that I'm on, especially the nausea pill, it can make a person very constipated. Well, I didn't understand that term in such a extreme manner as I did last night. My system it was crazy painful. My lower abdomen, like I said, TMI, but whatever, this is what's going on. It was like a brick. Something the size of a tennis ball was trying to come out last night, and my body's like, not happening. Are you kidding me? I'm not giving birth out there. No, wrong, not happening. Yeah, it hurt for hours. It was bad. It was bad. My poor body. And I just kept going, I'm so sorry, body. I'm so sorry. So I live and learn. They recommended, no, I really do believe they need to, more than recommend when something could constipate a person, say something like, this is highly recommended, or you need to do this because the pain is excruciating. A little something like that. That would help a lot. I would not have gone through what I went through last night. Anyway, I did start Miralax last night. Here's some more today. I'm finishing. It's only once a day that you take it. Don't know when all that's going to kick in. I was able to figure out a way to make things better last night. Don't want to go through that again. I do not want to go through that again. So it's a new day. Okay, so fentanyl patch. Like I said, I don't think I feel anything. I have had like this slight headache now for 2 days. So I do believe that could be a part of either, I don't know. No, I had the headache before the patch. I was hoping that the patch would get rid of it, but it didn't. So maybe it's from the white blood count shot. I don't know. I have so many different things to wonder. Is it from this? Is it from that? Who knows? So, but I'm just laying it all out there. The things I'm doing, feeling, going through. It's a mystery. I'm just hoping it's beating up this freaking tumor. Kill it. Kill it. Kick it in the butt. It's kicking my butt. That's funny. That was part of like my mantra last night when I was trying to go to the bathroom. And I'm like, these are all dead tumor cells that are just compacting my system. So good for it being there. And, sounded like the easier method of saying, you buggas, get out of me. Because that's what it felt like. Just a glob of dead tumor cells that my body just needed to rid myself of. I'm gonna change topics now because you get the gist of what I went through last night. I'm hoping that tonight's a totally different night. It should be. I've been drinking a lot of water and whatnot, trying to hydrate. So hard. Trying to eat. Don't really have a whole lot of appetite, but I am trying. I'm cutting back on all the bread I was eating. I'm not a bread person. I never have been a bread person, but for the past, week, I've been eating a lot of bread because it's carbs. I wanted to fill up and fatten up, and I think that actually contributed to my stuffiness. So let's see. We Matthew and I. Oh, good. My dinner's just about done. I have some congee, which is a watered down rice, kind of a rice soup, sort of kind of, with homemade chicken broth and chicken pieces and a lot of fat, a lot of good fat, she said. So that's going in my belly tonight. I hope that all feels good. And we have been watching, I think I mentioned, what is it? Around the World in 80 Days, Masterpiece Theater, PBS. We're loving it. Oh my God, it's so much fun and it's so well done. We've always loved PBS work. So cheers to us, because that gives us something fun to binge watch, because we haven't had anything for a little while. Funny enough, currently they are in, where were they? In Egypt or?
In India.
But for the camels, all the camels, was that Egypt and Jordan? And because they were talking about the Bedouins.
Yeah, Yemen.
Yemen? Okay, so we're watching all this stuff with the camels. And of course, we had our own camel experience, and I just kept looking at these adventures on camels that they were on, and none of them compared to mine. No. Because that was a crazy adventure. Okay, I'll tell you about it. I'll make it a short version. We were in... Because this was crazy. Say, hey, Matthew!
Hello.
Yay! So Matthew and I were in Jordan, middle of the desert, Bedouin territory, and we're with 3 other people that his clients. Super fun. It was a great trip. We were gone for a couple weeks. Anyway, so we decided, let's take a sunset camel ride. Sounds fabulous, right? And it was. Matthew, I think, was in on the first camel, and they're attached from their tail to, and then there's just a drag, and then it attaches to the bottom of their halter, and then tail to halter, tail to halter. There were 5 of us. Yeah. And the Bedouin guides, they were walking, I believe. Okay, stay with me here. So Matthew's on the first one, and Diane's on the second camel, and then it was Natalie, and then it was Laura, and then it was me. I'm on the last one, so what is that? Okay, 5 of us. And they're all supposed to crouch down, get on all fours, so you can get up on this, quasi saddle. And the one in front of me is a baby. Why I didn't go on the baby, I'll never know, because I'm much lighter than Laura. And the baby's having a fit. I'm on a mama camel. They're all down, everybody's getting on, and the baby's having a frickin' conniption. I don't know what his deal is, but he's not happy. He's probably hungry, he wants to have dinner, he doesn't want to go for another frickin' ride. I get it. And he's just agitated, and he's and screaming, and Laura's trying to get on, and every time she'd get on, the camel tried to get up, and my camel's still down, but then he popped him up, and now my camel's standing up, and it just went on, and finally, so I just get on my camel. I'm like, okay, let's just end this portion of it so she can get on. She does. We go for our ride. It was fun, whatever. I have a horse I'm used to riding, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, okay, this is fun, but it'd be sure fun to trot or canter. I've never been on a camel at full speed. careful what you ask for. Yeah, this is how the world works. We get back and it's getting really dark. We're in the middle of the desert. And it goes from light to dark really fast. And we're all getting off our camels because everybody's laying down except for the baby who's just agitated. He tries to lay down and they have to like hoist Laura off, and mine's still up, so I'm still sitting on my camel. Everybody else is getting off. The baby gets up and he's freaking out because now the camel in front of him gets up, and now his halter's being pulled by the tail of the one in front of him, and he's like, ah, and he stands up and breaks free. Breaks free. He's still attached to my camel. Now the baby's going, what do I do? And he starts running off, pulling my camel. I don't have reins. I'm attached to his tail. It goes from his tail to my camel's halter. And I'm on a big mother. That's funny. A mama camel. She's tall, super tall. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to jump off, man. She's like 16 feet high. Not that high. 10 feet, whatever. I'm not going to risk breaking my ankle. So all of a sudden, baby is taking my camel for, we're off, and we're bump, and they're, what's the word? They're lateral movers. So both feet on this side and both on this side, they go bump, bump, bump. So that's their movement, chicka, 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 like a train. And I'm laughing, and everybody's kind of laughing, although we're not really laughing because the Bedouins are going, they're like yelling, and they're trying to get my camel, and they're running around, and the baby's like, oh, and he puts his brakes on, he spins around, he goes that way, and he's just dragging my camel, and I'm like, okay, bye. I'm kind of laughing. This is kind of fun. I asked for a fast ride. We're gone. We don't stop. The baby takes my camel through the desert. It's pitch black now. Pitch freaking black. And Matthew's like, hold on, and I can see this like dark shadow running, and it's getting tinier and tinier, and we're like, my camel and the baby camel are just like hauling butt in the middle of the blackness in Nowheresville. And suddenly this is not funny, because no one's with me. It's just me and my camel, and we're being led by a frantic baby camel who doesn't know where to go. So I can see that the Bedouins, they got a truck. That's how we got to this area. And all I can see are like tiny headlights. And they're going up and through the dunes, trying to catch me or find me or cut me off. And I'm just going along for this ride, and I can't see anything. And a couple of times the camel trips because we're going up and down dunes. Excuse me. And excuse me again. And I'm just like, oh, thank God I have riding legs. I'm holding on for dear life, and I'm holding there's kind of like a horn in the front and kind of like a horn in the back, and I'm just like, gripped that. I gripped the one behind me, and my legs were just, I was anchored on this freaking camel. And so way up in front, I see headlights. They're trying to cut me off. I can see somebody stays in the car. They're like going that way, but they're tiny. The headlights are like that big. They're way out there. I can see that there's like a shadow. There's another shadow, and the headlights are still moving. And my camel, or the baby camel, he's running, and he sees this. Yeah. He stops, he turns around, and he goes in a different direction. This went on for about 30 minutes of, I am not coming off this camel. I'm staying on for the life of me. I am staying on because they'll never find me. I could be trampled while they're running, and they're like, boom, 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 just fast. It was crazy. It was crazy. Long story short, because it was crazy. The camels ended up at this I want to say like a cliff, but the base of this cliff, and there was a bucket there. So obviously they would take the camels there for a feeding or a watering or something. That's where the baby went, and he's just standing there freaking out. He was just like, and he's making these sounds, and sure enough, from around the other side of this cliff, the headlights are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm like, oh, thank God, thank God, thank God. And I'm like trying to mimic the sounds that they're yelling at the camel to, ho. We would say, whoa. They're using this, I don't remember. It was and anyway, I'm trying to mimic it. So they would stop. My camel stops, and I'm just about to jump off this thing. And the guy comes running from this direction. Another one comes running from the opposite direction, and they stop and they just wait. And the baby camel was going to take off and run. And I'm like, oh, no, you don't. Oh, no, no, no. And I'm like talking to my camel, please, and I was just like making up words. And they actually got the little camel. They were so pissed. They were so pissed, but they couldn't show it because, I'm a client. And they got him to lay down. They got mine to lay down. I was off that camel in a flash. They got me in the truck. They took me back down. Matthew and the rest of the group were just like freaking out. They didn't know if they were ever going to see me again. Woman gets abandoned in the Jordanian desert. Oh my God. So all that whole story came about while watching this show, Around the World in 80 Days, because I'm watching these camels and they're in the desert just like I was, but they were completely in control. Mine was not. So kind of a fun little story. I was all in my head over that today. It was fun to remember. And now you know about it too. Yeah, that was one of the highlights of life. Being on a runaway camel in the middle of the freaking night. It was amazing. Actually, it was really cool because I'm not hurt. And quite honestly, I'm the only one that knew how to ride, because I ride, almost every day. I had the legs for it. So if this were to happen to anybody, and I kept saying it out loud, thank God it's me. Thank God it's me, because I would really have been freaking out had it been Matthew especially, but any of them, because it would have been tragic. Seriously. Yeah, it's a long way down. They were going so fast. How are they going to find you? How would they find a little being, a little person that falls off a camel in the middle of the desert? They're not going to find you. It would have been bad. So anyway, now I know, careful what you wish for, 'cause you're gonna get it. Very differently than you're expecting, but there you go. I got to haul butt on a camel. We were in many gears. Many gears. So that's my story for the night. I'm going to sign off because I'm going to eat my... Hello. Because I'm going to eat my dinner and we're going to watch more of...
Around the World in 80 Days.
Yeah, baby. I recommend it. It's really good. Well done.
Yeah, that's a true story that she just told you. We were scared to death because she disappeared into the night and we didn't know if we were ever going to find her. It was pitch black. It was really scary. She just disappeared.
Oh my.
Yeah. But she's a writer. So apparently she didn't know that she knew how to ride camels as well. That's what Thank God. If there's one person that got the runaway camel, it was her.
Right?
It was the right person because she was the only one who could ride it and stay on.
Yeah.
Wild.
Poor Matthew. He was freaking out.
Needless to say, we all celebrated that night.
We did.
Upon her return. With the Bedouins.
With the Bedouins.
And they celebrated too that they found her in one piece.
They seriously did.
Yeah.
They're like, you okay? You okay? I'm like, I'm okay. You horse, you ride horse. I'm like, yeah. Inside they're like, saved. All right. Good night, everybody. I love you. I love me. It's dinner time. not hungry, but it's dinner time. Good night.